Draft Boyz. Draft Boyz.
What's doing?
Hello.
Wow, that was really new, Heato. What a great start.
I know. I missed out on, partying with everything going on in the world. So I felt like I needed some.
Yeah, normally it's like beatboxing,
Heavy
but that
tunes.
was more, definitely a dance beat.
You want to hit the clubs?
Hit the
Club.
clubs.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of FPL Draft Boyz, where we discuss the FPL draft format, not
Yeah.
that shitty budget version. To anyone else listening who has accidentally clicked on this thinking that they were going to learn something,
Yeah, can you turn off now?
yeah,
if
just
you
fuck
have?
off. Like,
You're not gonna
we
learn
don't want you
anything.
here. We don't need your money. We don't need your friendship.
We're getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
thanks
you
for
get the
telling me.
memo?
No, I
Oh.
didn't.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna talk
Heato,
to my
Myles,
lawyers after this.
we're here again.
How we going?
Never use my full name on radio.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
I'm
I'll give you the
Whitey.
address next
I'm
time.
Whitey on the mic.
Yeah, just read out your ID numbers and everything.
How you boys doing?
Yeah, good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, good, man.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I'm a happy boy. I watched a nice game this morning, so
Yeah.
nice
Heato and I
Tuesday
actually
morning
hung
game.
out.
Did
Bit
you?
of like a little triple date thing. It was, it was nice.
Yeah.
But one weird thing happened.
What
Oh
happened?
God.
There
Don't
was
tell me you went into my bedroom.
no. I think you'll remember this, Heato. So everyone's like kind of having a good time, a few drinks, and then on the fridge is this green piece of A4 paper. I was like, okay, it's
beautiful, isn't it?
That's odd. There wasn't much else on there. So
What
we
was
take a
it?
look at it. In handwriting, Heato and his partner have split a line down the middle and split up the chores in the house and then graded them with numbers in difficulty.
Graded them.
Graded them.
What?
Like, okay, so Heato, remind me.
Even,
It was-
you got to share the load.
Oh my God!
This
to
is-
work
it's
out the
ridiculous.
list.
Yeah, what's like?
It's basically so that they can figure out what evenly between them that they do and what they do regularly. It's fucking hilarious.
So what's
Yeah,
the
it's
hardest
by
thing?
difficulty and by frequency as well of how often you need to do that
I'll
job.
tell you what I noticed.
It's detailed.
It's not very modern. Like, Heato takes out the bins, Kat cleans the bathroom. Like, it's very much female jobs and boy jobs. That's not how it rolls in my house. We just do stuff.
Just do.
Yeah, we just do stuff.
Yeah.
Look, let me just put it out there. I didn't decide on writing up a list.
I'm
So-
guessing that, to be honest, mate.
Look,
it was
so
embarrassing.
There's not any skew there, but look, it works. It seems to work so far.
What kind of like difficulty and degree would, say, a segment like Snack Chat
Oh,
rate as in your week?
I think it's something you'd want to do weekly
100%.
in terms of frequency.
You definitely want to do it. Yeah, frequency, once a week.
Difficulty, if you're the person bringing the stuff, it's maybe like a 2
2 out of like 3.
out of 3.
That's middle.
But if you're receiving,
Miles.
it's like, easy.
It's a 2.
It's me today, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you're-
You did a 2 this week.
Well done, mate.
What do we have to do? We have to make it up
I actually took a risk this week.
on Snack Chat.
Yeah.
So for anyone else who doesn't know, Snack Chat, we bring a snack every week. We rate the snacks brought by one of the individuals. They cannot rate the snack. It's usually a snack and a beverage. And Miles is on this week.
Yeah. So I took a risk and I brought two things that I've
Okay.
never ever tried before myself.
Oh, okay.
So
I love that.
The snack today, boys, is Kettle Special Edition barbecue spices and sticky maple.
Ooh.
chips.
What a fucking
I like the
mouthful.
sound of that already.
I want it in and
For our
around.
UK listeners, they're crisps.
Oh, crisps.
Oh, yeah, Chris.
So see what you guys think of
Crisps.
that while I get your beveraginos.
Okay.
Okay, beveraginos.
We're going to get some crunch
Oh
today.
my God, everyone loves our crunching.
And for the drink, I got these goat beers. Greatest of all time beers.
Wait, what does a goat sound like?
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
that.
like that.
I thought I was a sheep.
So it's a mountain goat beer, and it's a new beer from them. I don't know. Let's see how they
Sounds
go.
good.
I know it well.
You do?
Yeah,
Are they okay?
it's not bad. Mountain Goat's pretty well known. Yeah. They're like an affordable craft beer.
So is the alternate name like messy beers or
Yeah, I was thinking more like, Peter Crouch. but
Crouch?
yeah.
Basically, they're like craft beers for the person on a budget. So, obviously your finances
that sounds
right
exactly like mine.
I did see a discount.
He's on a budget.
I was going to get something else, and I saw this. I was like, oh, I am the greatest of all time. I better get it.
If you don't say so yourself.
All right. Well, okay. I'm going to lead straight in here. Mountain Goat, very enjoyable beer. It says on it, and I'd have to agree. It's very drinkable, fresh. It's cold, and I'm eating chips with it. What can be wrong with that? And the chips, yeah, very interesting.
They're really good.
Like, my first impression was not packed with flavor, but I think I need another one.
What do you reckon, Heato?
You can really taste the maple.
I think I'm going to go the beer a 7.
Straight 7?
Yeah, I quite like it. It's quite tasty so far. And I think in terms of the chips, I love anything with like barbecue and maple and like honey. And
I saw it
all
and I
that
was
kind
like,
of,
that's go
chippy.
time.
So I'm going to go 7.5.
You're rating this beer higher than a Stone and Wood?
Yeah.
What the
I like
fuck?
it. I like it more.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you. He loves me more.
You're welcome.
That just proves my point. You have zero taste, Tommy. That's not his full name. That's
Look, what do you
his
expect?
alias.
Give me a rating, Whitey.
Beer. I think a strong 7.3.
Okay.
It's delicious, drinkable. Chips, I'm not sold on the chips. They could have a little bit more flavor for me.
More flavor.
More flavor.
Wow, that's quite a lot of flavor.
I really like a punch in the mouth. So I'm going to give it a 6.6, what Heato gave my beer last week. Fucking
Wow. I feel like I got gypped with the rating just because of Hato's rating.
Mate,
maybe that balances it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll take
know.
it. But
I don't
look,
know.
anyway.
Crunchy as.
So snack chat's over. Now, what we do here is we go through all the upcoming fixtures. We talk about each team and how they went in the last game week, players that did well, players that we think might do well, and talk about general upcoming fixtures and draft strategies.
Yeah.
So let's dive into it.
Let's.
Now, Heato, let's start talking about Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Actually, I'm sorry, Heato. I went to the wrong person then. Myles is a massive Chelsea fan. He loves Palace too.
It's because I was just going to rip into them to start with.
I think I just thought quick swing to Myles maybe.
Yeah, no worries. I can bring this one in, guys. So it's a good fixture coming up, obviously, for me. Watching it, with my mate Bob's is going to be a bit fun. But
It's not hard though, because it's like your first team versus your second favorite team.
yeah, I mean, it's hard. Obviously, I want, Chelsea to win.
There's nothing hard about it.
But
No, I'm just trying to empathize,
4-0 at least.
at least.
But last week, was a pretty dismal display by Chelsea. So I'm expecting a big bounce back. So 4-0 would be a very, very good scoreline for me. And last week we had Mount coming with some really big points, and Hudson-Odoi, which could be a massive differential in a lot of draft leagues.
Yeah, coming off the bench there and making a massive impact.
So it kind of seemed like Lampard in the second half had we're talking about the West Brom Chelsea game when it was 3-3. Kind of went back to the academy boys.
Yeah,
I
it
went
did.
back to old school.
Yeah, it did go
last
back
season,
there.
Frank.
I think that was actually me that predicted the result there.
Yeah.
Bit off this week, mate.
Just a little bit. I had a little bit more faith in Chelsea than I think I should have.
Yeah, they struggled a
I
little bit.
predicted West Brom 1, Chelsea 2. So
Yeah.
not right at all.
No,
And Heato, I think
pretty
you predicted Palace versus Everton.
Yeah, I thought Palace would win 1-0. I thought it'd be a cagey game.
But you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. So
You got
that
the
is
one goal
2-1
for Palace,
to Everton.
right?
Yeah, I got a goal at least.
Have you
But,
ever been right?
Yeah, I've been the only person to get one.
Oh,
right.
fuck. Okay. All right. Well, so let's talk about that West Brom Chelsea game first.
Yeah.
I think the first thing to talk about would be the first half, and in this case, Chelsea's defense.
Very bad.
Yeah, it was weird. It was as you said, highlighting one half. It was very much a game of two totally different performances.
Totally.
Like just error prone, stupid mistakes. Like unfortunate.
There's some special mentions here. I think Alonso is worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Maybe quite a positive change when
I
he
know.
came off.
Did you hear he tried to watch the rest of the game on the bus?
Yeah, I did. And Lamps got real
whipped into
pissed.
him.
Well, that's good news for Chilwell fans. He'll
Yeah,
probably just
definitely.
come straight in.
Well, he played it in your Carabao Cup, didn't he?
He did.
Chilwell. So
Yeah.
he's probably getting close to
And
fitness.
he got a really nice assist as well. So he's got really, really good potential.
yeah.
Yeah, we're close with him for sure.
Yeah.
And look, the other one making a big mistake was Thiago.
Yeah.
It hurt me a bit. I had a bit like nightmare flashbacks to when Gerrard slipped.
Oh,
That kind of
That's
letting a
exactly
player
how I
run through.
described it to my mate.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't think of it like that.
I
but
was
I
just
guess
like-
that makes a lot of sense.
Did you see our game? And he said, no, what happened? I said, oh, Thiago basically did a Gerrard slip.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was just.
I know.
I saw it and I'm like,
unlucky.
okay, that's going to be the game today. Like, because Alonso made the first mistake, then it was, Silva. I'm like, okay, this is going to be Chelsea defense, but we got a chance.
Yeah.
And then the third one goes in and it's 3-0 at halftime. I'm like, oh, shit. So moving on.
Yeah, the second half was really good to see the boys just get behind it and go for it.
Some big changes.
Massive changes,
as well.
yeah.
And I want to cut back quickly to the first half because I wanted to ask what formation you guys thought that Chelsea was playing, because I don't think we were playing the formation that they said we were. You know how they put it up on the screen? I don't necessarily
Yeah,
think
they're
it's
never really right with like what it says, but it looked like
a 4-4-2.
It did look like a 4-4-2, yeah.
And like before, like when we were thinking of signing Werner, I had heard that like Frank might play both of them up front, which makes a lot of sense. Tammy being the bigger player, be able to, hold up the ball. And we got Giroud capable of doing that too. And Werner being, the run in behind, quick striker kind of guy. Obviously we hadn't seen that yet. And that could have been a bit of injuries and were the other players in different positions ready to play in those positions. But for me, like, I definitely like seeing the attack in that way.
I think it was interesting because Tammy played super well for you guys in the Carabao Cup with Havertz behind you.
Yeah, bunch of
I was
assists.
like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, it might be a interesting prospect moving forward and playing Werner or letting him bed in a bit more because I'd be a little bit worried if I had Werner in my team. Like, would you guys feel that way as Chelsea fans or?
I'm slightly worried.
Yeah, I would say yes, because for me, I would have said that, we signed Werner because he's versatile and he could play on the wing. And I was actually really surprised that Frank hadn't already done that.
Just to help him ease in a bit more instead
because we got a lot of injuries on the wing.
Yeah.
Like we were lacking. We're playing Mount and Havertz on the wing. And then neither of them are really natural wingers. And I would have thought that Werner was more suited to that role, and would kind of, balance it a bit better. And I was really surprised he didn't.
I think that's why Hudson-Odoi's come on, because Frank's just like, you know what? I've got to put some natural wingers.
Yeah.
Got to give us the width, and they've got to know what to do when they're out there. Like even having, like Havertz, like for the first few games out there, it's just been a little bit of a disaster for Chelsea.
Yeah.
It has. The attack just hasn't synced up. But I guess to kind of sum up the second half, Chelsea came out with, at first a little bit of renewed vigor, but it took Mount's really nice goal and terrible keeping.
Yeah, true.
From the West Brom keeper.
Yeah, but I think that it makes sense though, because we spoke a little bit about the vulnerability of West Brom's defense lately, and we wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea got some goals. So like it's
In saying that though, Chelsea have never come back from 3-0 down. So and they were saying that at halftime, and I was like, oh god, this isn't good.
Yeah.
But then Mount comes straight out with that classic Mount energy. He just never gives up and scores that goal. He looked really good, actually. Definitely second.
I was very happy with him, my team.
Yeah. And
Sticking with him.
then, that kind of momentum carried us on to, who got the second? I just remembered the third.
Tammy's was the third one.
Oh, Tammy's was the third.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hudson.
It was Hudson.
Yeah.
It was that
that
beautiful
nice little 1-2.
1-2 with Werner. Wow. That was cool.
Really good. Nice little 1-2 there.
Yeah, I really want to see more of Hudson,
wasn't it? Havertz.
Oh, it's with Havertz.
That.
My mistake.
Which makes
Sorry,
sense because he's kind of getting his.
there.
That's right. He's getting his eye in, like had that little 1-2s with Tammy in the Carabao Cup. So I don't know. I think it's like
that was a nice finish.
There's definitely some questions like over Chelsea at the moment, but there's still some points out there for fantasy people for sure.
Yeah. Can I say one thing as well? And this is going to be a bit of a theme because I think the number was 26 penalties awarded this weekend.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It was something huge.
Jesus.
So anyway,
that's a lot.
And
I think
the VAR, it's gone, and they said it's going to be consistent, and it was
throughout the whole weekend.
And it was definitely a handball by Havertz.
Yeah. So, and then, because I went through and obviously watched other games, and I definitely saw like that given as handball in all these other games. And I'm like, well, what is the rule now?
I know, it's a bit...
How do they classify handball?
They've apparently drawn it like basically like kind of a bit after the shoulder, coming down the arms, like kind of just before you hit like the bicep muscle. So it kind of allows a bit of a shoulder touch. but below that, it's like it just.
Oh, is that
it's
it?
So
Okay.
hard. So it must have. I don't know. It kind
Maybe-
of looked like it had his bicep level, but
Look, maybe he was a
so hard
Chelsea
to
fan
tell.
in the VAR
Maybe.
dugout.
Or maybe he just got confused because it looked like he was playing for Palace, and they were just like they weren't sure what game they were reviewing the VAR from. They're like, wait, is this the Palace game or?
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what's going on.
Yeah,
that kit is hideous. I'm sorry, that was so ugly.
Yeah, I don't like it.
When I
either.
saw the release photos, I thought it was more red than that. But yeah, I was
So,
still not impressed.
we should talk about the other side of this Chelsea Crystal Palace fixture in Crystal Palace. They played against Everton.
yeah.
They lost, 1-2 to Everton. That was just a bit of a flatter performance from Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. They just didn't have that penetration we've seen in the last few weeks with the likes of Zaha and, Townsend and Schlapp and the like looking quite lively.
More of what you'd expect from Palace.
Yeah, actually, it would
Shout
be.
out, Bobby.
Yeah, it was like it's more that, isn't it?
Yeah, and their defense has been so solid, and they conceded after about 9 or 10 minutes, and I just think that once they go behind that early, it's actually harder for them because they're never really a lot of goal scorers.
Yeah,
They usually if they win
they
games,
get one early
it's
on,
like
they feel
1,
up for it.
2-0,
Yeah,
something like that. But it's going to be interesting to see if Roy changes, his strikers up front for this game because we still haven't seen Mishi, and
yeah.
we saw what he did last time he was at Palace. He was just very, very unstoppable, and it will be interesting.
Did we see that?
You do know that now,
Was he ever there? Really?
I don't know.
but it was a nice header from Kawhi.
Oh, here we go.
I got a bit of chip stuck in my
Oh no,
Have
he's just,
another go, have
he's just
another
covering
go.
up by the fact that he can't
Have another
pronounce
go.
coyote.
it. Coyote.
Yeah, look,
coyote.
we'll go the coyote.
But that was only his I think it was his second goal for Palace. So
Yeah,
I don't think, and I think he's playing
He just
centre
had-
back at the moment because they've got some injuries.
He had
so.
two. He had 2 attempts in that game.
Yeah.
and one was a goal. One I think was very close. So
Yeah, and he got some nice points this week, 9 points, but I don't think it's going to be.
not for your fantasy team.
Yeah,
definitely not.
So I guess let's talk about the informed players really. Now, barring maybe this week, I think that like Townsend and Zaha have been pretty consistent, and I would be still expecting to see, points from them in the next couple of weeks.
yeah, definitely. Even Townsend got an assist for the corner.
Yeah.
So
So obviously
I think
they've
from
got
that side that's still ones to watch.
And they've got Chelsea next week, which Chelsea's defense has been a bit rubbish. And then Brighton and Fulham. So they've got some accessible fixtures there. So
And also, Easy got his first full start in the Premier League, so he is definitely one to watch because he's going to
Potential
play, and if Palace get going, he could be that creative spark that they need.
yeah,
yeah,
that's a good point.
So from the Chelsea side of it, who are you guys interested in?
Well, I want to see Hudson-Odoi get another start. To be honest,
Me too. Unless he's got one of those other wingers that have come fit, I don't want to see Mount or Havertz on the wing again. It's not working.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
And I think you also got to look at the form of this last Prem game and that Carabao Cup with Tammy and both Havertz getting points. Well, not points in the Carabao Cup, but you know what I mean? It would have been points in terms of assist and goal. So I think from a Chelsea side, they're looking good.
There's a
and
connection
then
there.
they stand out at the moment.
Yeah.
and I'm kind of guessing that Tammy's going to be available in a lot of people's drafts, depending on how many man league they are. But Tammy could be a massive differential.
I agree. Like, I just think that, a typical thing for Frank is to reward good performances. And he usually rewards them almost immediately from what I remember in the past.
To be honest, he probably should have been rewarded from game one at the start of the season for what he did last year.
Yeah, I
To be
know.
honest,
I know. But in all fairness, so he's come out again and he's shown what Frank wants and he's making it competitive for Werner. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Tammy Havertz definitely ones to watch from that side, and Townsend and Zaha.
Yeah, nice.
So let's move on to the next game.
We got to predict it first, though.
Oh, we got to predict.
Yeah.
Is it me first?
I don't know, but I might actually steal it.
Oh, that's rude.
But the fixture. I'm stealing it.
Okay. I'll let you have Arsenal
Well, you
as
predicted Chelsea last week, Whitey, so
Yeah, I know.
you can have it this week, Milo.
Look, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be 4-1 to Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huge scores.
Wow. Is that really your best prediction voice?
I was thinking it might come up.
Like,
Maybe later in the app, I'll give you a prediction.
God, because Heato brought some game.
You need to ask me for it. I'm not going to just do it.
He's
like
not going
I'm not
to
a
offer it
weirdo.
out there.
I'm not going to beg, mate. So, okay. Not a bad prediction. I think, you might be overestimating a little. I think maybe Chelsea's defense might let through more. Let's see what happens. Or, Silva will settle. We'll find out very, very soon. Everton, Brighton, our next game.
Yeah.
Now, Everton played Crystal Palace and lost, as we just said, Everton won 2-1. Sorry, getting minced up in my words there. And then Brighton played United and lost in the biggest Fergie time in existence.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. So obviously, Myles, you predicted the result of the Brighton United game.
I did. I actually, I was sitting there watching the game and it was, 2-1, goes to injury time. Brighton score. I'm celebrating with the missus. I'm like,
You must have been very happy.
get me another vodka soda, babe.
Get me another vodka soda, babe.
Do you want me to, were you thinking, I need like Hito's like vibe beats to come out to like.
I was already there. I was already there.
Yeah.
And then fucking what happened?
I know.
United score in the
Hernandez.
95th minute from this ridiculous. And as soon as it happened and I saw it, I was like, oh, they're doing it. Because the VAR is just a cunt.
I know. And Hernandez doesn't miss, but
I know. It was unfortunate for Brighton. They were looking pretty good.
they really looked very cohesive.
Yeah, we've spoken about that a bit, how they've got a bit more attacking flair this year. They look quite threatening. They haven't quite converted, and I think, unfortunately, this game sums it up a little bit.
And man, they should have converted, eh? Like, how many times did they hit the post?
I know, it was a little bit ridiculous. It was 5 times in total for the game.
I only saw the 2 from Trossard. Was there 5?
Yeah, there was 5 hits.
Holy
and apparently that's
shit.
the most a team has ever done so in a Premier League game since like Opta Stat Group or whatever they are started recording it, like back in 03 or whatever.
Opta Stats.
Opta Stat.
This is why we love Heato.
I don't know what they're called.
Stat chat.
I'm pretty impressed that you know that. Like, I would have just gone the stat guys.
Stat guys.
Well, just to focus on, I guess, some of the goals and assists there. Our top point scorers from this game was March with 8 points, Morpay with 8 points, and Lamptey with 4 from the Brighton side, obviously.
And Lamptey's like a very, very interesting conversation, I think. He's got 3 assists on the trot. They haven't kept any clean sheets, which I think might keep him out of some people's teams.
And he hasn't got 2 points from playing, or he hasn't. Yeah. He came off before got the clean sheet last week.
Yeah.
So it's like only been 4 points every time. So it's kind of, it doesn't feel like an assist and your 2 maybe standard points to truck you along.
They will keep their clean sheets every now and then.
Yeah.
And if he's going to be getting these attacking returns, then he definitely could be an option, especially for a 4th or 5th defender.
Yeah,
and from what we've seen as well, Brighton seem up for it this year. They're going after teams. They're not just sitting deep. They're playing. They're there to play.
Yeah, it's like that Brighton that we got a little bit teased with. It was supposed to happen about 2 seasons ago. It's finally happening.
2 seasons ago.
Well,
They've made it. They've finally made it.
It's good. And look, Morpay scored again. He's clearly the pen taker in this scenario.
Cheeky pen.
Yeah, wasn't it? The Panenka. Panenka?
Yeah. I thought at first from the flight of it was going to go too high, but then just kind of sat under the bar.
Oh, man. I couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, no, you must be very happy with him and your team. He's looking really good at the moment. So,
and it looks like he's actually not playing in the striker role. If the obviously that pre-game formation kind of chat is anything to go by, they've actually said it was Connolly up front.
Yeah, Connolly's been really getting amongst it.
Like he is. He looks
getting
dangerous.
in position.
Little bulldog.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I like him.
I'm scared.
You should be.
I'm a little bit scared.
Big dogs in the house. Okay, well, yeah, obviously Brighton were good. Unfortunate to lose that one. So what did you think of Everton?
I think Everton, even though it wasn't, 5-2 like last week, they still just look really solid.
Yeah, they look like they're up for it this season. There's something about them. They've got a bit of swagger. They just look confident. moving forward with the ball and putting shots on target. They look like they've got a plan.
Carlo is just really working them, and they've got great mentality and, that mental energy.
Yeah, exactly. They're just nice, and it's actually nice to see Everton back in there. They're a team I always kind of like. It's good to see them competitive again.
I was actually surprised when Richarlison took the pen. I mean, look, like he's in my team,
but who normally takes the pens for Everton?
Well, I was thinking it was going to be someone like Calvert. I thought that they would have just given it to him, or maybe Hammers.
Yeah, potentially. I feel like Richarlison's taken quite a few.
Yeah, I thought he was the guy.
But definitely because of form and I think there's a shout there that there could potentially be rotation. There's a few good options for sure to pick there, but I think they got some nice points across that game with Richarlison on 8, Coleman, Digne on 6, or Diggy as we call him.
Yeah.
And then obviously Calvert-Lewin was 6 as well.
Also known as Dean.
I've heard Miles say it too often now. Like,
don't listen to that guy. Don't listen to that guy. He'll stitch you up.
I can't even say coyote.
I know.
Coyote.
Coyote
Ugly.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind some of that.
So I think the only thing to say is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin really just seems to be up for it.
Yeah.
Straight in again. He's getting in good areas and he's getting great balls in.
Looking very threatening.
Who assisted his goal? James, of course. Like, wow. He's making such an impact there. So
those are really... James through to Coleman, I think.
Of course. Yes,
but it was a great pass.
Yeah, Coleman got like a little touch or something in there.
Yeah.
But Coleman in dangerous areas too. And we've seen him be a very good fantasy player in some seasons.
Yeah,
so
long ago,
and he might not necessarily be in any, not in all teams. So I would definitely be considering Coleman, if not trying to get him in, because
agree.
Everton just look really solid.
Yeah.
And he does get forward and he does get in those areas.
Yep.
So, so to summarize, I guess really the informed players from these teams, I think March, it's probably a bit premature to say, he had
a few, he had a shot off the bar, off the post, and then obviously scored.
He
so I think one to watch potentially.
Yeah, he's still a bit deeper lying. I mean, Trossard for me is the one to really watch for, because he hasn't got a lot of points yet, but
and he likes shooting from range.
If he converts some of these chances,
he 2 off the crossbar in that game,
and he scored long range against Chelsea in the first game.
Yeah,
so.
He's up for more, and you can just see that. Like, he's one of those guys that would be missed by the form guide. In the draft thing.
Be like, he got one goal. Yeah, he's not getting the points yet. So,
but he's rattling the crossbar.
Yeah,
and
it's a good shout.
And what do you guys one for an easy trade, because he hasn't been in the points. So whoever owns him might be a bit frustrated with him. So maybe you could try and get a little bit of a your-sided trade if you're going to go for
trade up. Yeah, I like that. And then for you guys, I mean, Everton, we've already spoken about. Like, there's some good options there. Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Dean and Coleman, they're all people we'll be looking at against Brighton. And this should be an interesting game between Everton and Brighton. It's going to be, I think pretty well fought. I think Everton may edge them. Should I predict this one?
Yeah, you can predict it. Yeah,
I'm going to predict 2-1.
No prediction, boys. Thank God.
No, he's missed it. You can't do it now.
Sorry, guys. Just rewound.
Oh, God. Don't put them through it, mate. Don't put them through
it. My prediction for this week is 2-1. 2 to Everton.
God, that just gives me chills, man.
1 to Brighton.
Gives me chills.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think we should move on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, my God. Leeds, Man City.
Yeah, spicy.
Next week's game, but there's plenty to talk about in last week's games for both of these teams. Now, Leeds won 1-0 against Sheffield, and I think if you don't know that City lost 5-2 to Leicester, then you should probably stop playing fantasy because you're not paying attention. Wow. I mean, let's start with Leeds because we'll be quick there and we can spend a bit more time on what happened at Shitty.
Yeah, so with Leeds, I mean, it's good that they kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
It definitely brings their defenders back into play.
I guess if there's a team that you're probably going to get one, though, against, it might be Sheffield.
Yeah, a bit premature there, Miles. Like, I don't see you jumping on Leeds defenders just yet.
I'm thinking maybe even their keeper could be a good second keeper choice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Speaking of the keeper, though, he was one of the top scorers for the week with 10 points.
He
all
did
3
some
bonus.
amazing saves.
So
He was terrific.
There's actually points all round for this game. Because obviously you got the clean sheet. So you're looking at the keeper with 10, Bamford with 8 for the goal, Ayling, Cooper, Dallas, Koch, and a few points that Harrison got the assist.
Yep.
What a spread. For a 1-0 game, like, look how many... It just seems like quite a spread of points.
I know. I think it's when you get that clean sheet, obviously, it starts, kind of raking in a bit. So, but yeah, interesting spread of points across that. I guess not many people would have had the Leicester defenders, probably. Not Leicester, sorry, Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a bit of the... It was actually for only a 1-0. It was quite open. There was lots of shots, lots of saves from both keepers.
Yeah, Sheffield had so many chances that they should have just buried.
Yeah.
But the keeper was just a bit too good.
And there was nothing that
It was on both sides, though. It was a game of great saves. Really.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
There was a few saves where it wasn't like right in the corner that was an absolutely worldy save, but they were peppering the goal for sure. So it was quite open, which was interesting, especially for Sheffield, who, don't score a lot of goals.
Yeah, and as the active attackers in this game, the ones who scored the points, Harrison crossing into Bamford. Now, if you'd picked up Bamford, that would have been a great idea. Anyone out there? Harrison,
With a salty look towards Myles.
we've already talked about Harrison. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he pulled that cross that they scored from. He did it earlier in the game as well, almost identical.
Yeah.
With it going over. So he's one to watch, but he obviously, I only just found this out. He's actually owned by Man City.
Yeah.
So he's not playing.
Can't play.
I don't know if you'd be backing a lot of Leeds players against City, potentially.
Well,
their defense is
I don't know. I'm really interested to see what happens in this fixture.
I know.
I feel like he's the kind of player that they might, one of any of their players might just pull over in the box because it just seems to be what they do.
I think any result is possible.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a good
After
point,
that last
actually.
one.
Yeah, that's fair.
If
That's fair.
they're willing to run at those defenders, they're looking shaky as hell.
Oh, that's a good
But
point.
you never know. They might get that sorted.
That leads us on to City. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
So much so that they've had to go and buy a new defender to help them out.
Immediate.
2 days after.
Have you seen the
new
stats
defender
flying
in.
around of how much they've spent on defenders?
It's
It's
crazy.
actually insane. Like it's like
400 million.
yeah,
pounds,
it's like close to that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's a lot.
And yeah, there's some interesting chat about Pep and his ability to coach around all this buying. The fact that he's had to just come in. He's had so many good players and he's not really transformed any of some of their existing players and made them better.
Yeah.
He's just bought a lot of people or had good people.
He's
Which
no
I think-
Frank, is he?
It was interesting. No, Frank. I was going to say no
tactician.
Klopp. But,
I'll give you that as well.
Oh, sorry. Are we going back to talking about Chelsea? Okay. So,
quite you.
super Frank.
Oh, God. Are you sure you're shouting that after your last result? I know.
okay.
Always.
So,
Win or lose or draw.
Hey, look, he got us back. It was his tactical brilliance that brought us back. Anyway, don't make me talk about Chelsea, Heato. Fuck. So,
Sterling started up front.
Sterling started up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they now got.
I think we all
Jesus
expected
out.
that. We predicted that.
Yeah.
And then, they've got that young guy, Delap, that came on.
Yeah, old Rory Delap's son.
Is it Rory Delap's son?
It is, yeah.
I knew the name Delap.
Yeah.
I was like, Delap.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Well, just want to know if he can throw like his old man.
Yeah, who knows? What are the arms on that boy?
I know. It's a bit weird when he like creates one of the best chances for City outside of the goals.
Well, yeah.
That's
I mean, it
sign
was a
of
nice
how they
header.
played.
It was a nice header. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, but God, that volley from Mahrez. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Weak foot too. Like,
Yes,
holy
spice.
shit.
I'm
was
surprised
savage.
I'm surprised he didn't rip a hole through the net.
Was
He
savage.
absolutely ripped that.
Against his old club as well.
Savage. Did I say that yet? Oh, God.
It was.
I think he
frothy.
I think he celebrated like a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And I think he started to and then he held back.
Yeah.
God, how do you
You'd
after
have to
after you
celebrate that.
bang that in? There's
Yeah.
no matter who you've just played for them. They were like your hometown club. You just like
I mean,
Gotta
look,
be.
when Frank scored against Chelsea when he was playing for City, he didn't celebrate.
Yeah, because he's a legend. But why did he go there? Don't bring me
Yeah,
back to Chelsea.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So, keeping things moving on.
Let's talk about their defense.
I do want to talk about their defense. Now, 3 almost identical penalties. It was weird.
getting caught out from behind or a silly arm.
But it was kind of the same, like cutting across them. Like they were on the wrong side, cutting across and like or pulling them down. They were all so similar.
Yeah, I know.
And like, what was that about? Like they're not even like, well, Walker is quick. Like that shouldn't really be happening. So
and
much to
Mendy's
him.
quick.
I know.
And strong.
I know. Like what is going on? And I don't know. I just looked at all of them. I was, didn't you learn from the first one? Didn't you learn from the second one?
Yeah.
Third time's a
I
charm.
don't know what was going on there. But even like KDB was super quiet in that game. You know, regardless of there not being a out and out forward, you think there's enough talent in there to get through and penetrate and put some shots on and create some chances.
I just think that the team might be lacking a bit of cohesion because of all their injuries.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't blame it on that, but, you know, it has an effect. And yeah, I think hopefully, you know, in terms of fantasy perspective, not in my allegiance to Chelsea, but that those guys will, you know, start reaping the rewards soon.
Of course, yeah.
And it was a nice goal from Aki.
I was just about to bring this up. I wanted to talk to you. So I picked him up before this game because I saw that he started in the game 2 fixture.
you play him this week?
I played him, yeah.
Okay.
And
Son bitch.
Unfortunately, he gets 5 points for the goal.
I know.
No points for anything else.
that's it. But like, what do you guys reckon? Do you think he's there like long term? But they spent so much money on him that I think that he has to be.
I don't know what the fuck goes on with City's
How do you
defense.
tell?
Like they're about to
I
sign
don't
this
know.
new guy for a similar amount.
62
And then you're like, well,
million.
okay, obviously Laporte's going to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
thinking. Or are they going to play a back 3 with 2 wing backs?
I have no idea.
Oh, Mendy and Walker are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
Yeah,
they're going to get in attacking positions more than ever.
because Laporte plays. Stones is just useless. They're going to like cut their losses there. I feel Aki plays because he's very good in the Premier League.
Well, I think he's better than Otamendi.
And this new guy
For
coming
sure.
in, what's his name?
Diaz, I think.
Diaz, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can say that name, which is thank God.
Good job. You know that they traded Otamendi in that deal.
Oh,
Really?
Or maybe they didn't trade him, but he went to that
did he?
club. He went to it was a Portuguese
Benfica,
club.
I think.
Benfica.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah. So it is interesting. So I
Yeah.
mean, look, it's Manchester City. They're going to bounce back.
Oh,
And
yeah, they always
historically,
do.
when they get beat,
Yeah, they
do they
always
come back?
Yeah, they always
Yeah.
bounce out. So
I'd be predicting a little bit of a goal fest here.
Me too. And it could be from both sides.
yeah, this is a really hard one for me to jump on and predict, boys.
Predict
I don't know.
Use your
what to
predicting
do
voice.
here. I know. I've got to think a little bit here. So I think you're right. I think Leeds have been good, but I think City's will outclass them a little bit.
Well, while you're thinking about that, just quickly, let's mention, you know, the players that we might be looking at next week. Now, Bamford, he's been on form. He's got a couple of goals in his first couple of games and not necessarily against all easy teams.
I'd
Costa.
say yeah, Costa and also Klitsch. I think Klitsch.
Klitsch is pretty clutch.
Yeah, he is.
And Harrison can't play. I've noticed someone has noted him down, and I just want to make sure that they know that he's not playing.
And he's on the pen.
But people might be dropping him if they've got him. They might
True.
be dropping because he can't play this week. So someone could jump on it if they got room in their team to hold him for this week.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
So
play
keep
him
an
next
eye out
week,
on if Harrison becomes available.
And
in
they
your
do
league.
have Wolves after this. So, you know, we'll talk about Wolves soon, about what happened to them, but that's potentially okay. And then Villa for Leeds. So,
yeah. So
you know, it could pay off the next few weeks. But
who knows? The start of the season's been pretty crazy. And I think, you know, it's no real point mentioning all of City's assets in terms of fantasy, but
I think it's all just standard assets.
I think it's their attacking assets, not their defensive assets at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they could come good pretty quick. They've invested more money than anyone in that area, so you'd hope they do.
it can change.
But yeah, the names, just to repeat them, Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, they're the ones you're looking at. Oh, and De Bruyne.
Yeah.
and Big
De
Kev.
Bruyne.
So come on, give us your voice.
Okay, ready? Predictions for Leeds and City.
That's so good.
Manchester City to win 4-2.
Oh wow, that was
I nearly
interesting.
lost it halfway through there. I had to take a second.
I was
to
savage.
breathe.
4-2. That's exactly the score I would have predicted.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
feel
like
that.
it.
Thanks,
It is
boys.
good. Maybe 3-2, but yeah, I'll go with 4-2.
I just think there'll be lots of goals.
I think it could be like 6-3 or something.
I wouldn't be
Just like
surprised.
Sunday football, you know, down in the park.
100%.
God, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, a thrilling game here. Newcastle Burnley is the next one we got up in game week 4. Look, Newcastle drew 1-1 with Tottenham, which is a bit of a surprise.
And lucky.
And lucky.
Let's put that out there.
I think even Steve Bruce came out and said that.
I like that. It was so
me too.
open and honest. Just like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
So
and thank you, just for a change.
I know, it
someone
was
actually
nice.
being honest.
Yeah.
And then the Burnley played Southampton, then lost 1-0. So let's talk about the Newcastle Tottenham game first, or Newcastle's performance.
Yeah. So Whitey, what did you predict for this?
Okay. 3-0 to Tottenham. Thanks, Mourinho.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Bit off this
he's
week.
still fucking me.
Yeah.
He's been gone out of Chelsea for like 6+ years now, and he's still fucking
Man, he will till the end of time.
Yeah, look, that was not right. Okay, for me, man of the match was the keeper,
Oh, 100%.
Darlow, and he was in for Dubravka.
Yeah.
In terms of fan perspective, no one would have had him, and still wouldn't have got a lot of points in this game. But he was just awesome. Like, there was a double save.
Oh, that
Really
was-
good.
Man,
Fantastic.
he's totally kept Tottenham down. Like, there were definitely some amazing moments where, they would have been ahead.
He
Like,
kept him in the game, didn't he?
100%.
Yeah,
He did.
Basically, yeah, it's one of those rare
basically-
occasions
yeah.
where you go, oh, the keeper actually, had a massive impact.
I guess maybe for his performance, they deserve the point.
Yeah,
it was
maybe.
so,
I'd respect
so
that.
legendary.
Anyway, so let's talk about that. Was that a pen?
Yeah.
It was so bad.
I just don't understand how you can look at it and see someone who's not even looking at the ball and that close to the other player that it hits their arm from like a foot away
Yeah.
with his back to them. And it's like, oh, penalty.
Yeah.
It's like, what's he meant to do?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like up in the air. It was just kind of out from jumping. I just think it's ridiculous.
I think
Yeah.
the only people that are happy are people that own Wilson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, 100%. Because you go pen taker
And
good.
it's interesting as well because, like, I think that sums up the game a little bit that he got 2 bonus points. Like he just nothing else. That was their only shot on target.
Yeah, I
As
know.
End of
shot
the
on
game.
target.
So I think that sums up that game for
And it was a
little bit.
It was a nice pen from him. It's what we expect. All right. So let's talk about Burnley Southampton. Burnley obviously still suffering from a lot of injuries. That still seems to be affecting, their cohesion.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think that's correct, but I do back them to perform throughout the season.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've still got, really good goalkeeper in Pope, and once the defenders are back, and
Yeah.
they've got that style where they can just grind out some points. So
Yeah, 100%. And, their only outlet really in that team is, well, not only outlet, but main outlet
Pretty much.
is Wood.
It's not going to be pretty.
what's his first name? Milo?
Chris?
Yeah, but didn't you call him Scotty last week?
No, that was...
Oh, you called him Scotty?
I was like, oh,
Apologies.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it to the wrong
Please.
person.
I'm
Your
like-
surnames.
Yeah.
His first names.
I'm pronunciation.
Yeah, pronunciation of surnames.
Yeah.
Whitey is first
doesn't even
names.
know who the names are.
Yeah.
Old Scotty.
And
Yeah.
look, I wasn't far off with my 0-0 prediction.
No, you were pretty close here, yeah.
But look,
Yeah, I think one...
But you were wrong.
I was
Yeah.
I was close.
You're still
so
wrong, but
I
it
just
was
want to
close.
highlight the fact that you were
Yeah.
wrong.
I just want to highlight that you predicted everything wrong so far by a long way.
Yeah, that's right. Shut him up. I think one small
Crunched
little
him.
interesting is there's a little bit of rumours for Harry Wilson from Liverpool to go
Yeah.
to Burnley.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I think that would actually be really spicy for them.
They
He was
need
the top goal
creativity.
scorer in a shit team in Bournemouth last year.
Mm.
So if he could come in, he'd go straight into a team. So till
Yeah.
the window closes, keep an eye on that transfer. Because I think in a team like Burnley where they're lacking on creativity,
How long
I
have we
think that
got
would be
left
spicy.
for the window?
I think it's the 16th. Well, it's the international one's closing soonish, and then
Yeah, we've got about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
yeah, I think it's the
There's
16th
plenty
or
of ti-
17th.
plenty
for
of
the
time for some
domestic. Yeah,
So, okay. Informed players, Wilson, scoring a pen there. Darlow, obviously, like a terrific game.
yeah. Interesting to see if he can keep that up at all. But
Yeah, it just depends how long
Yeah.
Dubravka's out, if he'll take the spot. I don't know. That's not enough to base any sort of fantasy on. For this next game.
Milo, I don't envy you predicting this. By the way.
Can you just predict the result and maybe the player that might score it? Score the
Easy.
goal.
No worries. It will be a 1-0 victory to Newcastle,
Yeah.
Okay.
and Callum Wilson will score the goal.
What about Hendrick? No?
No.
Assist?
No, I've got Wilson. So,
Oh, wow. That's
Paul
biased.
Wilson.
I always back my
Don't
players.
pay attention to that. Okay, Leicester versus West Ham is the game next game up for next week.
Yeah.
Leicester played City, as we all know, and West Ham played Wolves.
Wow.
West Ham won
Lots of
4-0.
goals.
Obviously, Leicester won 5-2. So there's 9 goals to talk about.
Yeah.
Between the two, games here.
I know, and we start looking at like the top point scorers for both games. There's a lot of names to read out,
I
but
know.
basically it's obviously, we exclude kind of West Ham's defense, obviously points all around there for the clean sheet and a few bonus across the group there with the keeper and Cresswell.
Cressy, yeah.
Getting like 7 as well. So interesting.
But Bowen getting 15, Masuaku getting 12, Fornell's getting 9. Suchek scored a goal too. He was, maybe
he got an assist.
He got an assist.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was an own goal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
But then he gets the clean sheet points for 6. So points all around. Then same thing for the Leicester game. Obviously, we know there's 5 goals. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty
17 for Vardy, 10 for Madison, 6 for Tielemans. Couldn't go on here. But Castagna still getting points, really, really performing well. So, let's quickly talk about the Vardy party.
It just continues, doesn't it?
How does he do it? He wasn't like he.
Do you think you want to join our party if we keep raving like we do with our new theme song? We might have like a special guest, and it'll be our first guest, and be like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be one of their mates. And it's like, no, we got fucking Jamie Vardy in the house.
Yeah, Red Bull sponsoring us.
If I'm on Snapchat, I'm so bringing Red Bull.
Oh man,
And like Red Bull ice creams as well for
just
like
anything
Red Bull vodka, mate. It's gonna be great. So yeah, obviously he smashes a pen in.
yeah.
He smashed that first one in. It seems like he goes hard as hell on the first one, and then the second one he just puts like bottom corner. Doesn't matter which one, just pick one.
Yeah, he's just clinical.
Very
I think
good.
that's the way it should be. A striker taking a penalty.
Yeah.
It's like, I score goals for a living.
He's
Put
just
me on the pens.
Yeah,
Bung him in there.
perfect.
Bung him.
But that second goal, a little cheeky.
That's when you know he's
back flick.
still got it. And he's up for it this
Yeah.
year. Like he's
That was
still
spicy.
frothing.
I regret not drafting
Me
him
too.
first.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, what a hat trick. And he is the king against City.
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
He has got a ridiculous record against
I
them.
know. What about 2 years ago when it was a similar result actually.
Yeah, he got a hattie.
Yeah.
He's 2 hatties. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
The party.
Against the 400 million pound defense.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty crazy. It was a really nice assist for from Castagna. For that for the Vardy goal.
Yeah.
What
really
about
nice.
Madison, eh?
Oh, holy.
He came off the bench,
Was he? Oh, yeah.
but he remained
Spanks.
on Heato's bench.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh man, I predicted it because he hasn't started the last 2 games before this,
Yeah.
and he hasn't done anything yet. And I predicted again. I was like, "Hey, he's not starting. I'm not going to put him in my team." And he comes on and scores that world.
Unlucky.
I know. I've learned now, but maybe that means it might propel him back into the team.
Oh, totally.
So
Yeah.
Propel away.
propel.
So, yeah, and then the other goal was another penalty from Tielemans.
Yeah.
Look, if Vardy isn't on or Vardy's injured, looks like Tielemans is the pen taker.
Yeah, he was nice and composed, and it was a good pen.
Yeah, and take what you will from that. Like,
Fantasy players would have been disappointed not to get 4 goals from Vardy.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
He'd gone off 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, had he gone off?
Yeah, 2 minutes earlier.
God, you'd be so annoyed.
Yeah, Vardy would have definitely taken it. He would have like I think the reason he went off is because his Red Bull levels were low.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, I need a bull.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry, guys,
No,
gotta
he's
go.
probably coming down because he probably drank like 10 before.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a big game.
He's like, man, I'm
he
coming
just
down.
completely crashed.
I'm wigging
like,
out.
No, we can't even give him another one. He'll die. So we've got to just get him
It's
off.
like a fountain of youth potion for him. Like,
is.
I reckon as soon as he's a little low, like his eyes start to get deep set and he gets all these wrinkles and he starts aging really fast. And then all of a sudden,
just gulp it down.
gulps it down.
Do you reckon
And
he's got like a specific Red Bull fridge in his house? Like sponsored that they just come in and
100%.
because all the
What do
athletes who
you
are sponsored by it, they've
mean?
got like
Just
the
like-
fridge and it's sponsored
Of
by
course.
and they get
And
it all
like
filled.
Post Malone's got the Bud Light
Yeah,
fridge and shit.
exactly.
You know.
All right, so let's talk about the other exciting result here.
Yeah.
West Ham 4-0. And I would assume that people didn't have a lot of West Ham players.
No.
Not of what we thought. We said it last week.
We didn't predict this, did we, boys? I went for this one. I initially predicted 3-1 and I changed it to 3-0 to Wolves. Didn't help.
Oh, yeah.
I was just wrong anyway.
Well, your first prediction
Had the right amount of goals.
and then
4.
move it to the other side, divide it by 3 and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry the 2. Yeah. E equals MC squared. Yeah.
So Moyes and 2 players can't even attend the game. Moyes is managing from home over the phone because he's got COVID.
I know.
Crazy.
I think it's going to be a trend this year. We're going to see random just dropouts.
Well, it's really interesting. And I would have said that, with Moyes having COVID and probably being out of action, like physically for the next 2 weeks at least, you'd be going, well, I don't really want West Ham players.
Well, maybe it will help West Ham knowing Moyes' history of being a manager. So maybe it's a good thing.
Moyes is at home.
Maybe they'll just sack him and bring the assistant through, whoever looked after that game. Moyes, you're staying home until these results change. We're going to just keep going.
100%.
Yeah, they looked great. It was. I don't know if there's a bit
Bowen
of
is class.
Yeah.
Hey? Bowen is
really, really good.
We talked about him a little for last season and in preseason, and I wanted to grab him, and I'm just like, I'm struggling to choose who I drop in my midfield. I'm in one of those, strong midfield positions where like I'm looking at the names of my team, and maybe some of them haven't fully performed yet, but I'm like, so much potential.
Yeah,
he's definitely in my proposed at the moment. Because I'm getting rid of Pepe, and we'll talk about that. When we talk about Arsenal.
But I'd be looking at him. Big time.
I mean, there's a couple of options, but he's so good.
Yeah, well, what a finish. Really terrific.
Yeah, really smart.
And Antonio, how good was he down the wing? Like, it was just like, he's a beast.
I think you'd be disappointed if you had him in your team because he didn't get any actual points.
I know.
But he looked, at least it's a good sign that, you should definitely be holding on to him. He looks strong. And
he kind of he gets the ball like on halfway, and then obviously a defender comes out to meet him, and he just goes, all right, you and me. And then basically he's so strong, he's fast, he gets the ball past him and just muscles him.
A dumb
It is a little totally.
Yeah,
maybe not on that same level. But
yeah,
he was a beast.
the budget version.
Yeah, budget
the peasant version.
Budget version. Yeah, peasant. Another one to highlight, Myles, I thought Masuaku was good.
Masuaku looked really good.
Now, the reason I said his name before throwing to you is just so you knew how to pronounce it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would have had that one.
I saw the sweat start coming down as you started changing player, but he's calm now. He's calm.
Yeah, don't ask me about the next one. No, I'm joking.
So
he looked real good.
Yeah, I hadn't actually seen him. Is he a new player? Do you guys know?
No.
I'm sorry.
He's been there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know him. And I just thought in that game, I was like, holy shit. Like if they keep playing a 5-4-1 kind of thing, which is allegedly what it was that they played, is he rated as a defender?
He's a defender, yeah.
Fuck me.
He's a pickup.
He's definitely putting balls in,
he looks spicy.
He could be a very good option if you're looking for someone in defense.
Yeah, he's been on my radar for the last 2 years, but he's just not consistent, and West Ham are just terrible in defense. So
but maybe in this formation,
maybe.
I don't know.
It has to happen at some point, The
Hammers.
Yeah,
could it be this year? And then Souček with a nice header there, but it turned out to be an own goal from Jimenez.
But even still, there was other occasions where he was just piling into the box and being a support or winning headers for attempts.
Are you talking about Masuaku?
No.
Souček. Yeah.
There's other opportunities. So
he's a dangerous looking guy.
He's not just a guy that sits deep or anything. He definitely gets involved. So
yeah.
And he's a tall boy.
Yeah.
He wins a lot of headers.
And another tall boy scored the final.
Yeah. He didn't look very impressed, eh?
He looks so pissed.
Man, I think he is just he's not happy. He was a record signing. I picked him up last season. God damn, that hurt.
Yeah, I know.
I was really excited about him.
Well, he scored in their Carabao Cup games, and obviously wasn't enough to start again. But who knows? Maybe now that he scored again, it's kind of a sign for, I don't know, for him to get in, but I don't know where he'd slot in. Like if they're trusting Antonio up front, I don't know where you put him in at the moment because all of their team look good. Like Fornals with some points this week. The fact that Bowen's getting some points, I just don't know where you slot him in.
Okay, well let's talk about informed players. There's some obvious ones here. Vardy, Castagna.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to add as well, there were a few that weren't on the no, it's perfect for Leicester in terms of Justin the defender, and Pratt. Obviously, they didn't score this week, but they've just had a few moments this season when they look quite good. So just a reminder to
Are
not
either of
forget
their
about
positions in jeopardy, though, by Pereira?
The only one is at the moment would be Pratt with or Pratt. I'm not sure how you say it. For Madison, because he's been playing over Madison.
Oh, okay.
And he's now at the moment he's sitting with a 75% chance. So there might be some flip there. So caution on that.
We can see the talent that Madison has.
I think Pereira is still injured for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So Justin will keep playing, but I don't know what's going to happen once he comes back if Castagna gets thrown to the left.
Yeah.
And then he might become less valuable as opposed to Pereira on the right. So I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if you're playing this draft format, you've literally just got to get on like Leicester and Everton players at the moment, because they seem like the two teams that might have been left out a little bit in the draft. Obviously the star players, but I feel like both these teams are cooking up something. So
I agree. I think they're also a team that don't just have like two players you can pick and that's it.
Yeah,
it's kind of few in the front attacking area.
They share
that
the
you could
points.
have some of them and there's potential there. So I
well,
think they're the big ones for
so to highlight
Leicester,
to highlight ones to watch, I would just say, Masuaku, he's really only had one good game, but we're interested in him. Jared Bowen, we've talked about him a bunch, but this was his real coming out kind of, party against a good team in Wolves. And Antonio, look, he didn't get any points this game, but he definitely looked on the fringes. Could be a good play to look at. And then, definitely. My only note here is all the normal Leicester players as well,
Yeah, all the standard people.
Yeah.
If you don't know about them,
you shouldn't be playing draft. But I guess that's why you're here. So we'll quickly mention them. Vardy, Madison, Castagna. Now, I think, is it my turn to predict?
Yeah, it is, mate.
Oh, God.
What are you feeling for this
I
one?
definitely feel like Leicester's going to win.
Okay.
And as we all know, I was not backing Leicester last week, but now they've beaten City like that. I'm like, oh, fuck, I sound like an idiot.
He's quick to change his mind, isn't he?
I know.
A flip, a flop, a flippity flop. So, my prediction for this week: Leicester versus West Ham. Leicester 2, West Ham 1.
He's gone for a safe 2-1.
Oh, fuck off.
I think there'll be more goals than that, to be honest, but
Me too. And I don't think West Ham's going to score. I think it was an anomaly.
Well,
yeah.
Look, we're halfway through the game. I think it's about time to crack my halfway brewski.
That was crisp.
That was super loud. Our levels just went
popping. Apologies at home. It's time for my back end refreshment.
This next game seems like a bit of a beer break anyway.
It is a beer break. Yeah, I was going to need a beer to get through it.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's fair.
So Southampton versus West Bromwich Albion. Southampton won 1-0 against Burnley. West Brom with a 3-3 draw against Chelsea, which we briefly discussed. Boys, what do you think? Let's talk about the top point scorers from the Burnley Southampton game.
Yeah, because obviously that clean sheet really helps.
Yeah.
So that kind of throws out a lot of points for defenders there, as well as keeper. And then you got Ings,
I wouldn't say Southampton defenders would be commonly owned.
No, potentially, especially after getting thrashed by Tottenham the week before, turning around a clean sheet. So, obviously that kind of bonus translated to some of the defenders, except for Ings, who was the goal scorer. So they're the main call-outs from points-wise.
Yeah.
Ings just doesn't stop, does he?
No.
He doesn't.
Yeah, it's just too consistent.
And Shea Adams, man.
Yeah, he looks great this
That
season.
was a nice assist. Like, I don't know how he knew where Ings was.
Yeah. They're forming a nice little partnership.
I agree.
He's just kind of like picked up where he left off at the end of last season.
Yeah,
it took him
it took a while to integrate him.
games for him to score. And now he's just going at it.
And Shea Adams obviously gets drowned out a little in terms of top point scorers there by all the defenders getting a clean sheet. But I think that, that partnership could prove to have some points in it. So if you haven't got, a Shea Adams in your in anyone's squad, then you should be getting on him. Okay, West Brom versus Chelsea. We did talk about this, but we'll talk about the man who really took advantage of how shit Alonso is.
Yeah.
Robinson.
He looked really good.
He
He's got a
did.
gangster ass haircut as well.
You know a haircut. When you know we love a haircut here.
We do love a haircut on Draft Boyz.
Oh, fuck. Like, he's one of those guys that you just want to jump straight on. Like, when I saw him, I was like, man, the finishing from him was class.
See, he's a forward though, isn't he?
He is a forward.
Yeah, so it just kind of limits it a little bit.
But you've also got to put his goals in like context.
Yeah.
Like he got away. He was in an advantage because of Chelsea's defense.
Yeah.
Both times. And yes, he finished well, but
how often is that going to really happen?
So for me, like as much as I just want to jump straight on him because we all know how rare, forwards can be and how much you want to try and get them quick.
Yeah.
You've got to remind yourselves it's West Brom. We have not been frothing on their attack ever. And it was based off two, massive Chelsea errors. I mean, all 3 goals were.
And let them prove you wrong. Just like I want West Ham to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also sometimes letting them prove you wrong is dangerous because you want those points.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting though, because people playing with large leagues, sometimes you're really just scrapping for anything.
That's it.
And that sign is enough to just at least fill your squad with someone that you might not start, but
I did have a conversation about this today. Like, how hectic would draft be in a 12-man league?
I don't know how people out there do it.
I don't think it's possible.
I think
some people do it, but it's just it'd be so hard.
The scores would be so low. Like, half my team didn't start yet again.
No, it wouldn't be that bad.
Oh, mate, the teams would be so reliant on defense.
Yeah,
because many.
Think about all these points that we don't get, but they would be.
Oh yeah,
someone would be getting them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then you got like Eric Dyer or something sitting in your team.
Yeah.
So
I know you wouldn't.
So the top point scorers from that game were from West Brom were Robinson with 13 points, Bartley with 7, Pereira with 5. A
little bit of form coming through for Pereira. After the free kick the week before and now an assist. So
he's a dangerous looking individual. And Ings for Southampton,
obviously always
in form.
I think they're a player that's this big standout at the moment. So
yeah, and I think we've already said that the ones to watch really are Robinson and Shea Adams. Someone's written Scott Wood here. Obviously not Scott Wood. Scott Wood. Yeah, I'm getting confused here. So it's going to be interesting. Pereira, we could throw him in that ones to watch as well. So
I think interesting as well because West Brom have got obviously Southampton and then they've got Burnley, then Brighton. So not the hardest game. So
no, could give them a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, a bit of a chance they're coming up. So
score.
What are you predicting, Heato?
I think it's going to be quite a boring game.
Don't forget your prediction, boys.
I know,
It'll make it more exciting for the viewers.
Okay.
Don't draw this out too long. Just go with your gut.
Southampton versus West Brom. Southampton 2, West Brom 0.
Love it. Goal scorers?
Ings with the double.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. Why wouldn't you? I mean, there's no other rean.
I'll take it.
Bertrand assist. I'm throwing that in there. Assist. Okay, Arsenal versus Sheffield. Look, that's not going to be too exciting of a game, really. I mean, it could be interesting. We had an interesting result. Well, Liverpool beat Arsenal 3-1. Not too surprising there. Liverpool, allegedly they're pretty good. Sheffield,
apparently.
Sheffield lost, 1-0 to Leeds. Another one. I don't know. Sheffield just don't look as positive at the moment.
No.
What do you boys think?
I'm really hoping that Sheffield get their first win because
they haven't scored a goal yet.
They haven't scored a goal, but how good would Arsenal fan TV be after they lost?
If they lose to Sheffield.
Because they haven't scored a goal, they haven't won a game, and then they lose.
I love it. I love it.
I know, it would be good.
Well, their record, I guess we're talking about Sheffield first here, I guess. So their record right now is played 3, lost 3, scored none.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone with any of their players in your fantasy, you'd be fucking running for the hills at this point.
Yeah, because we were talking last week about they're just going to take a little bit of time for that defense to come back together like it was last year, or is it just a one hit, one season wonder? And yeah, potentially it is, it's obviously a very attacking team in Leeds, but and their wing backs and stuff were really attacking. Baldock and Stevens getting forward and having shots.
Yeah.
For me, though,
but
if you're
not
playing in a league of similar numbers to ours, say 7 or 8, which is kind of the sweet spot really for FPL draft, most of those players, if they're not in form right now, like with all that, they're going to be available, right? So I guess my tip would be watch.
Yeah,
keep
just
watching.
know that they're good.
And also, Meslier had a credible game. We've spoken about the keeper, before. And, Sheffield had a couple of bang chances that would have gone in without, an amazing performance of a keeper. So,
Yeah. I think they're ones to keep an eye on. They're going to be available. If you want a differential, probably more likely points in defense than anything, but that's where the points will come from there. They really are lacking a good striker.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Arsenal. Myles, you love to talk about Arsenal. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Let's see what it is today.
Look, I watched the game this morning and I didn't really think that they were ever going to score. I know that they scored and it was just a fluke to me, really. Like, it was a Robertson mistake, which is very unlikely. The finish was pretty bad. I mean, Lacazette had a really good chance a bit later in the game that he should have
1v1.
when it was 2-1.
Yeah.
He should have passed to Aubameyang, when they were on the counter.
Yeah,
and I think Aubameyang finishes that. And
Agree, yeah.
Aubameyang had a good chance as well a bit later in the game. But besides from that, and they're still open played, like not really chances, besides that Lacazette one I was talking about. It's hard to talk about them.
It's hard to judge off this
against
performance.
Liverpool. Yeah.
For me, watching the game, it was just a classic. Someone coming up against Liverpool and they sit deep.
Yeah.
They wait. They soak up pressure. Then they try and expose our high back line, which I don't think they did enough.
And it's like they were
because they were in
a
few times they did with the the chances from Lacazette. One was offside, but he had 2 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
And I think they looked okay, but they just didn't seem like they had that final pass to really. It's like they were like committing to their cause of let's sit deep and soak it up and then play, and then they forgot to do the other part.
Yeah, I thought that they were like playing for a draw, but then they went ahead and they just lost that game plan.
Yeah,
and they lose that lead within
All right. I want to say something. You guys have been talking for way too long. What I want to say is I'm bored of talking about Arsenal.
Look, to be honest, I wouldn't write them off based off that performance. Like, it wasn't horrible. It's, really hard versing Liverpool, especially at home. I just don't think you'd write anyone off. They've got a potentially good fixture. They're going to be probably on the other side now, having more possession against the other team. So I think it'll be an interesting game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I think if we were going to talk about any informed players, they're pretty obvious. It's Lacazette, Aubameyang.
Yeah, Lacazette's scored 3 weeks in a row.
Sheffield, it's 0 people are in form. So that makes our job easy.
And I think one to watch would just definitely be Celebos, because he looked really good. He actually gave him that creative spark
when
that Ozil used to do.
Sorry, who?
Celebos.
Yeah, Celebos. He got it right. For his translation, he got it right. Yeah.
Ceballos.
Yeah.
Listen.
He's sticking true to form,
Celebos is the way that
Celebos.
we say it.
You just want to say boss.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just Myles. I don't want a poor representation of Australia here, okay?
No, it's probably because Myles, obviously we know Myles supports Arsenal, and when he's at home, he's probably like, the boss is playing, the boss. He just wants to
Heato with a slam. I love that.
Me and the goat.
Just
like looking up.
Okay, who's predicting this?
That's a good one. I think it's Milo.
Me,
yeah.
Oh,
Milo, this is your one.
It's fitting.
I love it.
You said you'd give me Chelsea and Arsenal this week,
All right, hit it. Go. Prediction voice 2, please.
Oh, you want it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's he going?
In a time at the Emirates Stadium when Sheffield comes to visit Arsenal.
Just a prediction, please.
When I supported them.
2-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
Wow. Talk about
I'll
a
take
creepy voice. You thought mine was creepy. That guy
creepy.
sounds like a guy behind you. Like,
I sound like the guy doing a voiceover in like a horror film or something.
Yeah, it was like,
a little
one of
bit creepy.
those trailer voices.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Trailer
definitely a
voice
trailer
boy.
voice. Definitely a trailer voice.
I liked it.
Okay, Wolves versus Fulham. Now, all of a sudden, this game becomes a little bit more interesting, but I don't think the blip in Wolves' form will really have that much of effect. I think they're still going to shit on.
I think
Fulham.
if anything, their defense is going to be more solid.
Yeah, look, and we should quickly say, I know we've already discussed it, but West Ham beat Wolves 4-0, which is a massive fucking shock. Fulham got beaten 3-0 by Aston Villa. The only shock there is that Aston Villa scored 3 goals. Fulham lost. We all expected that.
Yeah.
So Wolves, what happened?
I don't know. They're normally so solid at the back.
Yeah.
That's something they really rely on, and they just didn't look up for
And
it
if
today.
they're not, then they'll just outscore these, teams like West Ham.
It was a bit surprising. I wonder if they really missed Podence. If he didn't play.
I would agree with that, but 4 goals against your defense.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think more in terms of being able to, you say outscore regardless. I think they missed that.
It was like last year when, they were in the Europa League and they were going deep, and I was thinking, oh my God, this fatigue's going to set in at one point, and it never came. And it's like, it's come finally.
Maybe it is now.
Because they played the most.
It's here now, coming to a cinema near you.
They played the most games out of like any team in Europe.
Yeah,
last
they played
year.
a lot of games.
So
Agree.
it will be really interesting.
Yeah,
to see if this continues
It's
or they just
definitely
bounce
interesting
back.
for sure. I think they will bounce back. I definitely think it's just a blip. But
And what a perfect chance against Fulham.
I know it's the perfect game to have
is.
after that.
And look, Fulham, we should move on to Fulham because, we all believe that that's a blip for Wolves. They're going to come back meaner. And Fulham, look, they lost 3-0 against Aston Villa. It's not looking good.
No, already 3 games in.
You think Scotty Parker fired before Christmas?
Oh,
He could be. He really could be.
That'd be sad.
He did just sign a new deal.
Yeah. Maybe they will stick with him, but who knows? It's all hearsay.
Yeah.
It's all hearsay.
That's all you say.
Order.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
You're shaking the beer, mate. You're shaking the beer
Did
up.
I screw up all your audio? I've screwed up the audio for Myles yet again.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm famous
back,
for
baby.
that.
I'm back.
Yeah, look, their defense looked average. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Aston Villa scored 3 goals.
Yeah, they're not looking that good moving forward either. So
And the informed players really remain being Jimenez and Podence. Obviously the Wolves defense hasn't been as good, but time will tell. Is there really any outsiders? Mitrovic could get a goal, but yeah, in terms of people to watch,
he's always a threat for them. I think at the moment Fulham are just too. There's no consistent form anywhere from anywhere. So, I think it's fair to say that.
I can't give you any.
Should I put on my predicting voice? Is it me?
Yes, it is you, mate. It is you.
I predict Wolves versus Fulham. Wolves 4. Fulham -1. No, sorry. nil.
4. Wow. Okay.
4-0. I honestly, come on. Do you disagree? I think Wolves are going to come out.
Lost 4-0 and now they're just going to we want to see that
It's the
same
switch.
scoreline,
It's the
but we
flip.
want to see the
Flip the script. Flip the script.
I really like it. I don't think they'll score 4. I think it might be 3. But
If Podence is back, he's potent. Podence is potent.
He is potent.
Man United versus Tottenham. Now, this is one of the bigger games. 2 teams that their form hasn't been too consistent.
The Mourinho derby.
Yeah, here's the Mourinho derby. Now, United scraped through with a win against Brighton, 3-2.
I don't know how that happens still.
And then Tottenham, it's pretty brutal. They drew 1-1. We've already said, it was a pretty late pen from awarded against them. Top goal scorers for Man United.
Points.
Do you want to run through that, Heato?
Yeah, so we've got points for Fernandes. Obviously, Penandes, as usual, with 12 points, taking all 3 BPS. You got Rashford with a goal, 7 points, and then you had assists from Maguire and Matic.
How about that Rashford goal?
It was good.
It was a great ball from Fernandes to get it up to him. And I think I gave Willian shit the other week for passing a ball up to Aubameyang and he did everything. And now I'm like, oh yeah, Fernandes, great pass. But if I'm really honest, it was a good pass, but yeah, Rashford did it all. And he had 3 Brighton defenders dancing around and trying to catch him. Like he was just like sending them left and right.
And he just shrugged him off, didn't he?
Why are you a Man U fan now?
No.
I just saw his eyes like just glimmer when he was talking about that pass.
You know what it is? It's Fernandes.
It's Fernandes.
He's had him ever since he's come to the Premier
He's got a bit of
League.
a bone.
I know. I love him. I love him.
He loves these double-digit
I wish
hauls.
we had him. Yeah, because look at him. He's just a point scorer. He's
know.
on pens. Like, fuck.
But United get a lot of pens that they probably shouldn't have got. So
Yeah, true. So, look, Harry Maguire, a goal scorer there.
right place, right time, eh?
Yeah, I know. Like, you're not gonna be doing.
Well, that was the assist, unfortunately.
Yeah,
What?
it was an
It ended
own
up being
goal.
turned in by Dunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
But it was basically
Hito's
like
got dunk, so
I
he knows
know.
all about it.
I do know. I played him over
not
Maddison
much of a
this week.
slam dunk this week, would you say, Heato?
Yeah, Martinelli choked on his chips. Had that horrendous
Wouldn't be the first
fantasy
time.
decision by myself.
That's so funny because it's like a 12-point swing by putting dunk on, like
Yep.
minus 12. Sorry,
Yep,
I love it.
huge. I know. It was
Brutal.
poor. It was poor.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do if you just have poor decision making. Like, you're not going to win that many fantasy leagues.
That's it.
Wait, who won last year?
Yeah, I know, but you've won.
First one, first
all
one,
right,
mate.
all right.
Just like when
All right,
Liverpool
watch
won.
out. I'm
Anyway.
sitting second on the table at the moment.
Were there any other highlights for you guys in the United games in terms of player performance?
Not really.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That pause should tell us everything, and I think it's good encouragement to move on to our to the other game, which is Tottenham drawing 1-1 with Newcastle.
Yeah,
I would say definitely that Tottenham were the more dominant team, which there's no surprise there. Lucas Moura getting the only goal, tucking that one in back post, and Kane getting yet another assist. Now, Heato, as Kane's biggest fan,
I do like Kane.
what do you
Harry.
think? Who?
It was pretty good.
Oh, Kane. Sorry,
Thank
Kane. Well, if you're watching the Tottenham documentary and you asked Harry Kane to say his own name, all you'd hear would be this. Like, whoa. I literally, honestly, I don't know why they don't turn subtitles on for him. I can't understand a fucking
Look,
word.
to be honest, I watched the show with subtitles anyway.
Oh, did you?
Just to help with like Mourinho and like
No,
sometimes when
Mourinho's
he's
only
talking.
hard. I found him actually easier, but fucking.
But yeah, it's definitely helped with Harry
I watch
Kane.
everything with subtitles. Just putting it
Yeah.
out there.
No, I think
Everything
that's
that I
not-
watch.
You disgust
Fair shout.
me. You just read the whole time.
I'm still trying to like
No,
get better at
yeah.
like not looking at the subtitles when I'm trying to get better at it. But I see what you're doing there.
So all those people that probably picked up Son if they didn't already have him, or
Tried to
wrangled
trade
him,
for him.
wrangled him into their teams from last week
You'd be Devo right
Would
now.
be-
Yeah, Miles,
yeah.
are you Devo, bro?
off the post and off
How
the
you feeling?
crossbar.
Also injured at halftime.
Oh,
Even bigger news.
how many more times would he have hit the crossbar?
I don't know. A lot.
Three, at least three.
Probably
Yeah.
would have buried about
6 times.
4 in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
It doesn't seem like
it.
I don't know if it's that bad.
It
I
doesn't
think
seem
it
too
says
bad,
hamstring.
It's
but
a 25%er. Look, they can swing either way. Like
Yeah.
1 week they're at 25%. You're like, oh, I'm optimistic. Next week is like 3 months out.
I was watching it, and then like they came back after halftime. And I
Yeah.
couldn't see my little boy, and I was
know.
like,
Well, after watching the doco, I think Tottenham seem to have a history of really bad injuries. I don't know what's going on there. But
Spoiler alert, I haven't finished it. I'm on episode
you
1.
don't remember last season?
Yeah, okay. Shh, not that well. Yeah, but Tottenham really looked threatening. They just couldn't really beat the keeper, which we already said, like he was incredible. I mean, and that could be a bit of a sign there that Tottenham, sometimes the keeper just fucking keeps you out. Like, they can come back next week and score some goals. And
think so
we saw
too.
they could score 5 fucking goals last week. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too disheartened if you've got them in your fantasy team. And I'd mainly be looking at the fact that Son is coming off. Will Bale just slip in there? Who will come in? Will it be Bergwijn for just a little bit before Bale?
for Bale, I think so. Yeah.
But, it's Man United as well. So, United might be bringing Bergwijn in for 1 week against United.
And I don't even know what's happening with Dele Alli. He hasn't even made the team. He hasn't even made the reserves.
Yeah,
Does that
I
mean
don't
he's
know.
on the way out?
Now, you guys have seen more of this doco than I have, but from what I heard, Mourinho was not loving Ali.
No, he thinks he's lazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
From some other prick that spoiled it for me. Wasn't one of these
huge
guys.
spoiler.
I know, huge spoiler.
Huge spoiler.
Huge spoiler. Dele Alli's lazy.
Yeah. Oh god, you're devastated. I can tell.
Okay, so
So should I predict this one, boys?
yeah, I think so. I think it's obvious who to look out for here. I mean, Bale, I think, is one of the ones that we're going, this could be the week where he comes in.
Oh, you think so?
I think he's a couple of weeks off.
I think he's still a bit longer out. Yeah.
Why so long?
It just says unknown. He looks like
Yeah,
sad.
I was just reading a few things, and it looks like it's going to be the game after the deadline shuts.
The international break.
Yeah.
Why?
He's just got lack of
very
fitness,
sad.
and he's just building.
Can I ask how you first off pronounced Bergwijn? Like when you first saw that name, what did you say?
I don't know. I'd have to say Bergwijn.
You said like Bergwijn.
Bergwijn.
I think
That
that's what
sounds about
to
right.
be honest, that's what we all said. That's what we
Bergie.
saw.
Bergie.
Yeah. Burgers.
Good old Bergie.
Okay, who predicts? Is it me?
No, it's me.
I
It's me.
just want to do my voice
Me.
again.
Well, I think you're next. So
I think you're done. No, I've got
you're
the
done.
last
Oh,
one.
you've got the last one.
Nah,
Okay.
because there's uneven
No.
amounts of games,
yeah,
mate.
but you're going to make up for it next week. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't
Simmer
worry.
down. Simmer down.
He
You've
got
done
4
your
last
voice.
week.
I'll
I
fight
got
you.
4 this week.
I'm
You
gonna
get. You start
Gonna
it
fight
next
you.
week.
All right. You're talking too much. Use your
Okay.
voice.
Manchester United versus Tottenham.
Oh, jeez, it's changed.
Man U to Tottenham to.
Okay.
Safe.
I like it.
Like it.
Why do you say two so weird? Two. Okay, let's move on
this
to
Tuesday.
what could be a drubbing. Aston Villa versus Liverpool. The only thing that Aston Villa have going for them is
Grealish.
I was going to say nothing.
Probably that result. I mean, good confidence. I know it's against Fulham, but
Fulham.
they kept a clean sheet.
They looked good.
Fulham.
And yeah, like I haven't actually seen the game, so I'm going to let you guys take over. But
Fulham. Yeah.
the result for them is pretty sweet.
Yeah, huge.
It's solid. And look, there was one player that, like, for me, outside of Grealish that looked really good was McGinn.
McGinn, yeah.
2 assists, and he looked dangerous at times last season. I think he got injured, and like he was definitely on some fantasy radars.
Yeah.
He's definitely a 5th mid pick. He's,
Yeah, 10 points this week from him.
yeah, decent haul. I mean,
There's a few big points in this week. You know, we got Hurahan with 14, Mings 12, McGinn 10, Grealish 8. And then obviously the rest of the defenders with nice little.
and as
cheeky
we
clean
said,
sheet.
it's this, defenders, like when they get a clean sheet, all these bloody players pick up with like 6-7 points. But yeah, it was a little bit surprising to me, even though it was Fulham that they kept a clean sheet. But they just, they looked up for it.
Yeah, they
Mings-
looked spicy. Yeah,
Mingsy looked good, didn't it?
yeah. I picked him up this week.
I saw.
yeah,
I was
Like
very
that pickup.
impressed at that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would you pick him up?
They're versing Fulham, bro.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Really good pickup.
We've spoken about
Is it
this.
the hair?
Look at the fixtures and pick
Yeah.
up against the shit teams.
That's it.
Yeah, it's the hair. I like his hair.
Okay, moving on from haircuts to Liverpool. A bunch of terrible haircuts there.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He's just too good.
Beast mode.
He's a first round pickup.
Do you know what's
isn't he?
hilarious? Every time, he is.
He is.
Everyone's like, Trent's the weak spot. Everyone's going to target Trent because he bombs forward. They always say it, but he still keeps getting assists. He
Yeah.
still keeps bossing games.
That's it.
Just can't fucking stop him.
And it doesn't matter because
I never said that for the record.
Liverpool, they're so solid in the midfield that even though he bombs forward, like it's not like Chelsea with Alonso, how like they didn't
So
have cover for it.
exposed, yeah.
It's just like you don't see it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just with Jurgen, and he knows that Trent's going to bomb forward because he tells him
he
to
sets
do it.
him up for it. Yeah.
So it just like as soon as that happens, that holding mid just is always covering
Yeah.
that right mid.
Yeah, exactly. And it works so perfectly. And this game was a prime example of that. So, looked really spicy. Some great balls in.
And Salah, he scored another goal. What a surprise.
Salah.
No,
He assisted. He
Yeah, he got
assisted.
assist.
Sorry. He destroyed Arsenal's defense.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I was going to say something though. Mane, 6 pickup in our league seems like a steal.
Yeah, I felt like that after watching this game.
Like after last week's performance, seeing him this week, I think he'll outscore Salah, and I think he'll outscore pretty much everyone besides maybe De Bruyne that went before him.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Sterling,
Who's got him?
Me.
Heato. So Sterling, Aubameyang, Kane, and KDB went before Mane.
Yeah.
Obviously, Salah went first, but look, seems like a steal.
Yeah, he's looking like he's up for it this year. So, yeah, if anyone can trade for him from a Liverpool fan, I give my blessing.
Oh, wow. The
KDB.
blessing of Heato. Okay, so moving on from Hito's blessings, you're going to give any blessings about Jota?
Yeah, he could have had 3 goals, to be honest.
Are you serious?
In 10 minutes, yeah.
His first touch was like a nearly spicy goal.
Yeah. I think he was nervous. I think he would have finished it if he was.
And also
Wolves.
Salah stole the ball off him, which would have been
that was a bit.
I could see him coming on a bit in games where, maybe Liverpool are struggling to score, which it seems like never, but still, because he's very different to Firmino. He just seems to score goals, whereas Firmino just seems to
well, he actually came on for
do
Mane
something
in
very
this
different
game,
for the team.
played out wide, and he has that flexibility to play across the front. So at first I discarded it as a fantasy pick, but now having watched it and thinking about it, I think it'd be similar to Wolves, where he's a bit of a bench guy.
Yeah.
But if you got a bench guy that comes on and gets 6 points,
Totally.
that's still pretty solid. So,
Okay, so clearly informed players here: Salah, Mane, Robbo, Trent. They're typical FPL outlets.
for sure.
Aston Villa, some out of the box ones there, like Mings is pretty informed. Konza, Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez is actually looking like a decent option as a keeper. He could be that keeper that faces a lot of shots and manages to keep a couple of clean sheets.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Exactly. They've got some hard fixtures: Liverpool, then Leicester, then Leeds. So maybe their defense might not be the best pick for the next few weeks. But Liverpool moving forward, obviously Aston Villa, Everton, the Derby, and then Sheffield. So yeah, some spicy ones moving forward.
Predict.
Just on a side note, I'm excited for that derby.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be one of the best ones.
Blemish.
I think it's going to be one of the best ones.
Yeah, I think it'll be a draw like normal, but we'll get to that in future weeks.
Stop getting around this prediction.
This is an easy prediction.
Voice.
In a time. No, it's going to be 2-0 to Liverpool.
That's fair.
Sexy.
That's fair. I'll take those clean sheet points.
Yeah. No, I'm there with you.
Who do you see scoring?
Mane double.
Mane double.
Just for you, baby doll.
Thanks, mate. Oh, I love that.
Okay, take it
Chris
easy.
is Chris.
Okay.
Whitey's
I'm
cringing.
excited. Yeah, why?
Well,
His name's not Chris. Don't look him
Mane
up.
double. Mane double. All right. Well, that rounds out our little review section of this review preview. Now we'll move on to our game, Kings and Peasants. Kings and Parents.
Oh, that's
No, Kings and Peasants.
You throwing a new game on us? I don't know. What's
No
going
new
on.
game. Now this is a game where we choose a king and a peasant. A king being generally, a very one of the stronger players that is more commonly found in everyone's teams, and
Or
a peasant,
someone just really informed.
or someone really informed,
yeah.
but you'd find him in most teams.
Yeah.
And then a peasant is, someone on the fringes. Maybe he's in a couple teams. Maybe it's more like a fifth mid pickup, And we berate people if they get it wrong. So, moving on into Kings and Peasants, and I believe it's me up still because I keep losing.
Well, it's actually tied 25 all in second place between you two. So I've got this gold coin and I'm going to flip it and I'm going to get you to pick it because you're actually coming last in our league compared to everyone. So I thought that'd be the most appropriate thing.
Second
fair to
last.
me.
No, but last out of us.
Yeah.
Does he get to keep the $2 coin as well? Or?
Nah, I'm too poor.
Too poor for
So
that.
heads or tails, Whitey?
Tails.
It's heads.
Fuck.
Okay.
Heato can go first.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So up first, my king this week
Yeah.
is going to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I like it.
I think he's just on so much
Interesting.
form at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on that form as
Okay.
I haven't had him yet.
Peasant it up, you
And my
peasant.
peasant is going to be Pereira from West Brom.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they got the Southampton. So
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think they've just been all right moving forward. So that's going to be my peasant this week.
I do like it.
I
Yeah.
believe it is time for me.
Yep. Go for it.
I choose as my king Mane. Damn it. Just to piss Miles off.
Yeah, I like it though.
And my peasant shall be
Tough.
Come on.
Lamp Tea. I
Lamptey.
rhymed. I rhymed.
Okay.
I do like it.
I rhymed.
Very clever of you.
Okay, Miles, finish us off. Finish out the ep with some terrible picks.
For my king, I'm going to go Raheem Sterling.
That doesn't rhyme.
That's fair.
Work on that.
And for my Pezzo, I'm going to go with someone like
You have to pick one person.
Jared Bowen.
Oh, Jared. Yeah, I was tempted by Jared.
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on him.
He was thinking it was not a peasant.
Well, in fact, he's only done it for 1 week.
Yeah, that's
If
why I
he's-
thought I'd jump on it
He's
now.
a peasant. He's a peasant at least for 2 more weeks. Like
Yeah.
if he does it in 2 more weeks in a row, I'd still be calling him a peasant.
Yeah, no, when you go to pick him, he's not going to be a peasant. So I thought I'd get one in
He's
early.
100%
Not going to burn a king.
All right. Well, to round. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.